Folks, this is Jadius,
And this is Bayes.
and we're in the Wood League, and so are you. We apologize for the temporary hiatus that we took after the roundup number two went up. I hope you guys enjoyed the roundup number two, coincidentally. But Bayes, of course, was on holiday, as you knew last week, and he came back to find that his internet had kicked the bucket. But now it's
Yes.
everything's working out. And Bayes, you feeling good? You feeling rejuvenated? You ready to go?
Yeah, it's good to have the internet back, Like, not having the internet is so weird. You gotta read books and watch TV and stuff, go
Oh,
outside.
books.
It's just really strange kind of
Gross.
living like that. But speaking of which, I have a little question for you as we descend into the fall.
Mm.
What do you prefer, summer or winter?
Oh man, well that's a tough question. Of course, some of you may or may not know that the Wood League is based in Canada, so our wood leagues, our winters are pretty nasty or pretty intense. But growing up in Canada, I think you have a soft spot for the winter, and you have a soft spot for summer. Our summers are pretty short, but they're nice and hot. So I mean, it's hard to choose. I like both a lot. I
Yeah,
don't
recently our winters have been so just it's warm and slushy. I don't know.
know.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
It's
true.
not as nice as it looks in
It's
fairy tales
it's
and
not
movies, you
idyllic.
know?
It's not like a postcard or anything like that. It's
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
great.
We need to
But
get further north, I think.
okay, so let's get to the business at hand. This is the final deciding game of last Wednesday's Steel Series ESL Go for StarCraft 2 Cup, which is a bi-weekly cup, and this was the deciding match of that cup between Naama and MaNa, a Polish and a Finnish player, two up-and-comers in Europe. This was the Team Liquid replay of the week of last week, and seems to be getting underway pretty standard. Some of you might be interested to know that Moro, who had kind of been tearing up this tournament recently, was banned for three uh,
Whoa,
go for
what happened there?
go for StarCraft cups. So he wasn't part of this one, which he might have won because his record pretty prolific so far in this tournament. He broke some rules as far as streaming. Not exactly sure the whole story. I don't know if it involved swearing or having someone stream that wasn't supposed to, but apparently he ignored the instructions of one of the administrators of ESL and got a not a three match, a three tournament ban. So last Wednesday, Sunday, and this upcoming Wednesday, he will be banned. He will likely be back next Sunday unless he's got major beef with ESL. But anyway, these two players took advantage of Moro's Moro's ban, and this was the final deciding match of last Wednesday's Go for StarCraft 2 Cup. So should be pretty fun.
Now, it's really strange to me the names of these players. Is this some kind of coincidence that they sort of have reverse names? They don't know each other in real life or anything like that?
I doubt it. I mean, like I said, Naama is a Finnish player, the Blue Terran from Finland, and MaNa is a Polish player. By all accounts, two kind of up and comers that people haven't really heard from, but they're starting to show up a lot in European tournaments and do really well. I don't think that they planned out their names together. I remember noticing it myself when I downloaded this replay that was a little a little weird that they had such similar names, such a back and forth names. But I don't think they took it to heart. But a convenient matchup nonetheless. So scan going down here for MaNa checking out what for Naama checking out what MaNa is going on. That's
This is
going to be a
gonna
little
get really
confusing.
rough, I think, as the game goes on, like distinguishing between their games, between their names. But we'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll refer to them as Terran and Protoss when we can. We'll try to keep it clear for you guys. But like we said, nothing too out of the ordinary. Looks like the Terran going for some pretty quick siege tanks. Maybe taking a Moro strategy now that Moro has been banned. He's got to represent the Terrans and represent Moro in this tournament. Finland pretty close to Sweden, so maybe they've got some similar strategies going on. Looks like a warp gate going out here for MaNa, the green Protoss. Only one gateway now, a second gateway now being activated, and a third one being warped in on the way. I was a little surprised that he had one gateway, but he seems to be remedying that pretty quickly.
Yep, a nice observer going across the field, and MaNa taking good use of those Zelnaga towers in the middle there with probes that's what you should be using to use the towers, I think.
Yeah, controlling the viewpoints in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Naama seems to be posting up his Marines on the edge of the of his main base, probably weary of some blink action right now. Pretty popular, pretty standard strategy for a Protoss in this situation versus Terrans, especially considering that
Well,
siege
I
tanks.
guess he must have noticed the invisible unit there because the scan went down, and that observer was quickly destroyed.
Yeah, not too difficult to see the little air rippleys. I know in my experience, I usually am pretty keen on that, seeing DTs or observers, stuff like that. Terrans, in my experience, pretty nervous about invisible units. So we kind of get like this sixth sense for air ripples, and it looks like Naama is the same way. Look at like a starport going down for Naama, getting his first expansion up. MaNa, meanwhile, the green Protoss getting his first expansion up as well. Looks like his is going to go down almost simultaneously. We're going to probably see a worker switch over here for Naama, and no real advantage for either player right now. Both expansions seem to be getting up and running at the same time. Naama going for a full spread, barracks, factory, starport, nothing in duplicates right now. Using bunkers and siege tanks to good effect here to protect his expansion. Meanwhile, MaNa still looking like gateway units are going to be make up the bulk of his army right now. Looks like the starport being used for Ravens, so might be a little bit nervous about DTs. Like I said, Terran's a little shaky, a little nervous about those invisible units.
Well, maybe Naama will be whipping out a little bit of that turret harass that I've heard about. It's popping down some turrets in the back of the mineral line or something like that. But I expect they'll just be used for that invisible scouting capability. That is, and maybe some of that. What's that thing that they do where they suck up the projectiles?
Oh, point defense drones, yeah, absolutely can be very, very effective against a large amount of stalkers, which seems to be, well, maybe not a large amount, but seems to make up a good portion of MaNa's forces here.
Yeah, I know
Um,
both players not having really big. Well, actually, I don't know. MaNa doesn't have many units right now, and Naama is not attacking them, so there's no real consequence being met. But just both players not too afraid of being attacked at this point. It seems kind of. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the rest of the games in the series, so I guess they maybe felt each other out earlier, and they know what to expect from each other.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was the deciding game, so there was something on the line. I'm not exactly sure what the score of the series was at the point of this game, but I'm sure both players a little bit nervous. The game is decided here, and you're not going to really see a lot of rushes a lot of the time, but Naama will now push out with Banshees that have cloaking, or not yet. I think that it should be just about finished here, if I can find that real quick. Just about finished on the cloaking. So, but MaNa does a good job of having the observer with the bulk of his forces as stalkers there near the Zelnaga watchtower. So even if the cloaking does finish researching in the next few seconds, which it has, MaNa should be pretty prepared to handle that. Meanwhile, a large contingent of High Templars here coming out for MaNa, and this could be really, really dangerous for the Terran.
Yeah, a bunch of High Templar out. I'm not sure exactly how many. It's 5 on the field right now. And yeah, let's see what MaNa can do with that Psy Storm.
Yeah, very good contingent of units that do very, very well against Terran, and using this kind of intimidation force here that Naama ended up seeing with his Banshee to push out and get this gold mineral expansion, which is definitely the right decision. Definitely going to push his map control and his economic advantage instead of just pushing out and perhaps getting shredded by siege tanks and not getting a fair trade for the minerals that he spent getting these High Templars up and ready to go and ready to storm.
Yeah,
Just going to
Nana's
use
got a
this.
couple of scouts in his at the bottom right and the right expansion. Too bad he didn't have that marine in there at the gold expansion. I guess it would have been quickly destroyed by this large force.
Absolutely, and I'm positive that he knows that the gold mineral expansion is at play right now, having that Banshee just kind of flirting around there. I'm sure he saw that the rocks were gone, but now looks like a medevac drop is going to be the strategy here for Naama. Seems like MaNa may be kind of getting an inkling of that. Note doesn't know about it, and this could be a great play here for the Terran.
Yeah, MaNa's got one photon cannon in his main, but the drop will actually not be at the mineral line. It'll be over here by the Twilight Council and a warp gate. Not totally sure if that was the best decision. One pylon going down, disabling one warp gate, but the pylon will be put straight back up, and the economy is not affected.
Yeah, I mean, Naama really nervous here with these High Templars. Probably a smart decision to kind of just do a little bit of harassment, deactivate that warp gate for the time being. Unfortunately, didn't supply block MaNa, which maybe he hoped it would. Kind of put MaNa off his game for a little while. He's going to put up photon cannons, spend some money on having that not happen, and of course, that money is not going to go towards troops. Right now, Naama might be caught out here trying to get this gold mineral expansion. Not enough troops to take out these High Templars, and he realizes that he's going to turn and run.
MaNa has an absolutely absurd amount of High Templar here. 14 out on the board. I believe only 10 are with his main force, so I guess, two more showing up now. There must be some High Templar just like hiding here and there on the base. Another drop is about to go down in MaNa's main. And this one will affect the resource and income of Naama.
Yeah, I mean, a little surprising here because MaNa had put these High Templars and a couple of Zealots and a photon cannon for that exact reason, and was just totally distracted by the gold mineral expansion and his imminent offensive. That not only did that offensive not happen, but some good economic harass by Naama there, and
I guess we found those High Templar that were hanging back because there's
yeah, definitely that's where they were hiding. Right now, it looks like Naama's strategy is going to be ghosts and a nuke, a few siege tanks versus these High Templar, but the Zealots are going to push back these ghosts and maybe put them out of position. But there goes the EMP. No more energy on those High Templar. They needed that, and these High Templar are absolutely going to get burned down. Going to try to turn into Archons. I don't know how many of them are going to be able to survive. Looks like one's already going to go down. Point defense drone going to come down here and take care of these last two Zealots, and that's a great trade-off for Naama there. Those EMPs coming at the exact right moment, making those High Templar, which MaNa spent so much money on, absolutely useless.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like he made too many High Templar. Just had a really absurdly large number of them. I mean, in theory, they could shred up a whole army in just seconds, but you need that beef in front. You need your meat shield. Didn't seem like he had much.
Yeah, almost identical number of units lost for both players here, but the resource value of the Protoss unit loss far outweighing the Terrans. So great trade-offs there for the Terrans as far as the money that he's spent. And
yeah, luckily for MaNa, the Protoss, he's been way ahead in the economic game for quite some time now. So the greater losses didn't really affect him too much.